Yeah. So, good afternoon, everyone. We are live now, and welcome to Ideas That Matter, series of webinars by Shulini University, Kasole Hills, Himachal Pradesh. I have with me today Vivek Atray, and we welcome all of you teachers to this absolutely wonderful webinar. We're going to talk about finding success within. As a quick introduction, my name is Atul Khosla. I'm the Pro Vice Chancellor and founder of Shulini University, Himachal Pradesh. I'm a BTech from IIT Kanpur and then did my MBA from Jamnalal Bajaj and then spent 20 years in the industry, different cities of the world, 35 different cities, and with different multinationals like McKinsey and Company. The teaching bug then hit me, and I started and founded Shulini University and have been here for the last 7 years. Delighted to welcome Mr. Vivek Atray for this wonderful webinar today. Vivek is an ex-IAS officer. I call him the brain behind the IT Park of Chandigarh, which Chandigarh is now so famous for. He's a motivational speaker. He also has authored 3 books, and one of them is Finding Success Within, which is the topic for us today. So I won't take more time, and I'm going to hand it over to Vivek for this wonderful webinar. So Vivek, we still haven't sorted out how to stream on StreamYard, so I'll come in, but I might not be showing videos on this particular show today. But over to you. Next time, I promise more videos. Vivek Atray, over to you.
Thank you very much, Professor Atul Khosla, and it's lovely to be speaking once more on Ideas That Matter, a series of webinars, as Atul said, about success, leadership, speaking skills, and emotional intelligence. Today's topic, which we have chosen and your school has chosen, is finding success within. A very good topic, and I'm happy to be speaking on this. It is also the name of my book, which I will show you in a while. And Atul and I have done now many webinars, much more than 60, where we have reached out to schools all over India, as far as Kolkata and Vadodara as well. In fact, most of the schools are from North India, but some are from far-flung areas. And we are very happy to be in your school today. I am sure that the principal will join us later for a Q&A session, and we'll have some questions from the teachers. Very important for the teachers to ask questions at the end, and all the participants will benefit if you ask questions. Of course, some of you know me perhaps, and some of you don't. Atul has already introduced me. I am an IAS officer. I resigned from the IAS in 2017, and I'm a motivational speaker now. I have more than 25 lakh views on YouTube, and one of the topics I speak on is finding success within. And these YouTube videos you can watch, many of them are with Atul on this panel, Ideas That Matter. Many of them are solo. So thank you very much for tuning in to this session. Now I'd like to say that success is something that everybody talks about, everybody is very keen about, but we don't really know often what success is. And success is something which should give us happiness. If success does not give us happiness, then success is incomplete. Let us say there is somebody who is a police commissioner, or somebody who is the director of some school, or somebody who is the CEO of a company. All of them have achieved a lot in their lives. They have become very senior. They're in a good position. But the question comes whether they are happy from within, whether that inner peace is a part of their life, whether that inner happiness is a part of their life, and whether they are truly happy, or are they only successful without being happy. There are many people we can give as examples who are successful but don't look happy. Many senior officers I've seen in my service, many successful business persons, you might say, look stressed out all the time. Many politicians, because they're in power, they look stressed out. Opposition also looks stressed out. And all these politicians, business persons, officers, academicians, ultimately they need to find that success within themselves. That is the whole theory behind this session. Atul and I will speak on this topic. And the whole premise that we are talking about is unless you are successful from within your journey within you, there is no point in having outer success, which is actually only temporary. Viktor Frankl said, he said the journey within is what matters. Outer successes don't matter. Paramahansa Yogananda said, the author of the autobiography of a yogi, he said, outer victories are not important, inner victories are important. And the autobiography of a yogi is a book for you to read. In fact, one of the books I will recommend, very important book. And Shulini University has a Yogananda library and resource center. Beautiful. If you ever visit, you will have a look at it. So, talking about more details of success. How does success come? Success comes through a combination of factors. Finding success within comes from a process. Firstly, we have to focus on happiness as the goal. The true goal is happiness. Whatever gives us happiness, we have to adopt. Whatever doesn't give us happiness, gradually we have to make it move out of our life. It may be a relationship, it may be a job, it may be a neighborhood where we live. If it is giving us a lot of stress, a lot of unhappiness, a lot of disturbance, ultimately that whatever it is, it has to be modified, or it has to be improved, or it has to be changed. So there is a saying that change is the only constant. And if change is the only constant, that means that we have to keep on adapting. Now we have the pandemic. All of you are in the middle of it. I am in the middle of it. All of us are affected by it. We have started doing these webinars. You have started doing online classes. We are all in the middle of a pandemic, still in the middle of it. Now, all people are not equally affected mentally by this pandemic. You may not be a health worker, and you're not, you're teachers. You may not be in the forefront. You may not have anybody in your neighborhood or family who is unwell because of the pandemic. But you may be stressed out as a result. Why? Because your mind is losing the battle at the moment. And that mind is something which is difficult to please. Sometimes we have everything in life. We are grown ups. All of you are grown ups. You're not children. But you look at your children, they are fearless. 5-year-olds, 4-year-old, 3-year-old, 2-year-old, they are fearless. No doubt. They will do anything and everything because they don't know the consequences. When we grow older, we adopt fears. Most of the time, these fears and worries are in the mind. They are not really there. They are totally, they are avoidable. So what I would like to say is that the first thing is to introspect and look within. Whether we are winning the battle of the mind. Is my mind actually so stressed out that I'm shouting unnecessarily? I'm irritated. I'm angry most of the time. What is the point of my salary or my house or my car or my progress in life if I'm not enjoying that progress? When are we going to start enjoying that? Is happiness something that will come to us in 2028? Will it come to us in 2032? Are we working towards that goal? It doesn't work like that. We have to be happy in the middle of the pandemic. We have to be successful in the middle of a problem. That is how life is. It is very, very important to feel positive, surcharged, energetic, enthusiastic, revitalized in the middle of the problem. That is the greatest quality you can have. When problems are coming thick and fast, and you are cool and comfortable, happy, and cheerful, then you're winning the battle of life. Now, this may be philosophical. You may think that these are all philosophy and it is not possible. Of course, we are human. We often become involved and we become angry and we become upset and we become fearful. It can happen. We are human. But should it happen all the time? Should it happen most of the time? Should it happen a lot of the time? No. It should happen only once in a while, that we are low, we are angry, we are disturbed, we are scared. Only once in a while. And if we have an attitude of thankfulness in the mind and heart, then that attitude of thankfulness tells us that there is so much to be happy about in our life. Why are we disturbed about things which should not really disturb us? So we have the example of Arthur Ashe. Arthur Ashe was a Wimbledon champion. He won Wimbledon and he was on top of the world. And after a few years, he was dying, critically ill. Somebody wrote to him, many people wrote to him saying, get well soon. But he was critically ill. He died late. And they wrote that, why is this happening to you? Why not to somebody else? Arthur Ashe writes back to them, longhand. This was not the time of SMS and WhatsApp and email. This was the time of longhand writing. He writes back to them, when I won Wimbledon, I was on top of the world. I looked up at the skies with my trophy in my hand. I did not ask God, why is this happening to me? I thought I deserved it. I didn't ask God, why is it happening to me? Now when I'm dying, when I'm critically ill, what right do I have to ask God, why is this happening to me? मेरे साथ ऐसा क्यों होता है? क्यों हो रहा है? Why do we ask this question? Because we are not thankful enough for what we have. We are human. We will feel like that sometimes, but not all the time. We cannot spend our lifetime feeling a grudge against somebody who is more successful than us, more jealous, jealous of that person, or feeling bitter. Why did this sister get married to somebody richer and more prosperous and I got married to someone else? Or my so-and-so cousin is doing so well in life and I am sitting here. What is the point of that? Is life going to improve like that? I don't think. Of course, as I said, we are human. But we have to think like Arthur Ashe. When the going gets tough, then also we are thankful. When the going is good, again we are thankful. Shukr, very important to be grateful to the Lord. And those of you who are spiritual, you read your scriptures, you sit and you pray and you meditate, you will feel more grateful. After I meditate every morning and evening, I meditate, and Atul also meditates, all of us meditate. After meditation, then you pray. It is the best time to pray. Your mind is clear. You thank God. You pray for others, those who are unwell, those who need prayers. Pray for yourself. And then you will feel that calmness. And calmness is the key to winning the battle of life. Calmness, inner peace, happiness. These are the qualities we need to focus on. A calm mind. I'll speak more about a calm mind in a while. I'm going to request Atul to come. And till then, let me show you my book, Finding Success Within. This is the topic of the day, and it is also the topic of this webinar and the book. Finding Success Within means 52 life skills for young Indians, I mentioned in this. It means the journey of success is within us. This book came out this year in March, and it is doing very well. I'm very happy with the book. And young people are reading it, writing to me, writing reviews on Amazon. It's available there. Please read it, share it with youngsters, read it out in the class when the class resumes, and let us all make sure that we are successful from within. Over to you, Atul.
Thank you, Vivek. I think what inspiring thoughts. I'd just like to add a couple of things over here. You know, when we think about success and we think about making people around us successful, it's so important for us to get that inspiration into them. It's so important for us to bring in happiness into them. And it's so important for us to bring in creativity into them. There's another last thought I'd like to bring in is the world of fearlessness. And we heard Dia Mirza speak about that yesterday at Shulini's webinar, where she said that if you can create a world of fearlessness, then success happens. So I'm going to talk a little bit about these three or four things. At Shulini, inspiration is extremely, extremely important. We believe that we are in the business of making ordinary students extraordinary. And if you can do that, it could be absolutely amazing for us to be successful. So inspiration can come from great teachers. Inspiration can come from absolutely fantastic environments. Inspiration can come from peer groups. Inspiration can come from great speakers. And I think there's some teachers on this panel. I'll request them to keep all of this in mind. Bring inspiration to your students, not just knowledge. The second thought is about creativity and fearlessness, and let your students flow. Let your students bring in and do things that is absolutely sterling what they want to do, and you'll see magic happen. And the last thought I'll have is from a happiness perspective is please don't be lonely, teachers. Please, students, don't be lonely right now. There's enough research that suggests that happy people are successful. Successful people need not be happy, but happy people definitely are successful. Happy people also, by the way, live longer. Happy people will also ensure that they have more money with them. So if you want success, if you want money, and if you want to be superbly successful in your life, then of course you need to be happy too. And for that, you need to build a community around yourself. You need to build friends around yourself, and you need to make sure that a family loves you. So let's do all of that and make and find happiness within. As we get into the next phase of the discussion, I'm going to request Vivek to come in and talk a bit about meditation, talk a bit about his experiences of empathy, because gratitude and empathy also bring in happiness within, bring in success within. So that's going to be a few things I'll request Vivek to talk about. And I think we'd also love to answer all your questions that we have on the panel over here. So please don't hesitate to ask questions. Vivek Atray, over to you.
Thank you very much, Atul. Very good thoughts and very positive thoughts. I think it's very important for us to focus on happiness within. And as I said earlier, the mind is the biggest factor in that process. Because our mind tells us at times that we are not good, we are not worth it, we are not capable. The mind tells a child of 17, 18, let's say, that child is held back only by the mind's negativity. At times, that child is very, very capable and very, very good at his or her work, but is not confident enough. And that is something that the child has to fight, the battle of the mind. And this battle of the mind is also mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita interpretation. If you look at the great Bhagavad Gita, in that the Kauravas and the Pandavas are there. But in the interpretation which Paramahansa Yogananda writes, the battle is being fought in our mind every day between the Kauravas and the Pandavas. It is being fought in by the negativities and the positivities, by the good qualities and the bad qualities. So if every day we are fighting this battle within, then somehow we need to get a little more aware of our bad qualities. So if we introspect every night and find out where do we lose our temper, are we losing our temper unnecessarily? Are we losing our temper for solid reasons? Am I losing my temper 10 times a day or 5 times a day? Or is it only once a week? That's different. We need to introspect. Secondly, calmness is something which comes easily to some people. Some people, they are calm all the time, they are cool, they are meditating probably morning and evening, they look comfortable in any situation. Whereas other people are jittery, agitated, in a hurry, restless. आपने देखे होंगे? You've seen that kind of person. You are not that person, of course. There is somebody else who is always in a hurry, always agitated, complaining also. ये ठीक नहीं है, वो ठीक नहीं है. This is not right. That is not right. So if we get into that mode of life, whether you're a teacher, an officer, or a student, or a business person, it is a negative mode of living. Criticism and complaining all the time. Get the complaint book. Let me write an application against so and so as a JE or whatever. Kabhi kabhi theek hai. It's okay, important. But not all the time, not every day, not mostly. Criticizing is not the right way to do. So that calmness of the mind brings that understanding of success. What is success? Let's look at Amitabh Bachchan. Amitabh Bachchan was rejected by All India Radio. They said he doesn't have a suitable voice. Amitabh Bachchan, best voice ever. Then he was too tall for the movies. Shatrughan Sinha and Amitabh Bachchan, I was watching a conversation recently recorded. Shatrughan Sinha says, one director told me, ये किस ऊंट को पकड़ के ले आए? Amitabh Bachchan is so tall, he says, किस ऊंट को पकड़ के ले आए? Which camel have you brought? And that camel or whatever became the hero of that very director's movie later. And Shatrughan Sinha says, I became the villain. So Shatrughan Sinha was the villain. Amitabh Bachchan was the hero. And he was saying earlier, कि किस ऊंट को पकड़ के लाऊं? So basically, our life is not going to be a bed of roses. And look at Amitabh Bachchan today. Even today, after being superstar and super duper star, and now at the age of 77 or whatever he is, to be on KBC, to be on ads, to be on other things, cool and calm and collected. Great performances. If you look at his acting, is even better than before. So, what is worth emulating about Amitabh Bachchan? It is the positive thinking. On KBC, you can see he has also felt setbacks. The person sitting next to him or in front of him on KBC is a poor person. But look at Amitabh Bachchan, so successful, so high and mighty. Other person may be very shy, nervous, being on TV, being in front of Amitabh Bachchan. But he makes the other person feel as if that person is Amitabh Bachchan and he, Amitabh Bachchan, is only a common man. That is the greatness involved. That is how we are humble even in great success. And that is how humility makes us actually greater than arrogance. So let's talk a little bit about authority, respect. If somebody is sitting on a position of power, he has authority. Everybody has to salute. Everybody has to listen. Everybody has to comply. But the person, does he or she have goodwill? Does he or she have respect? That is what matters. Very humbly, I must tell you, I resigned from the IAS. I still have the same friends. I still have 3 years later now almost. I still make the same calls. I get people talking to me all the time because I try to be cheerful in service, positive in service. They don't feel any difference. I don't feel any difference. I am getting the respect which I got earlier. And if some people have stopped saluting me, I'm happy they have stopped. That's very good because the genuine people are still my friends. Goodwill is success. Finding success within means finding goodwill, finding that peace of mind which makes others admire. On this point, let me give you a story. There was a saint or a very well-renowned saint who used to be traveling from one town, one district to another. He came and sat next to an empty ground next to a big village. And he started meditating morning, evening, and night. 1 week, he's meditating. People started going and bowing before him, praying to him, giving him food. And this man kept meditating. One man from the village got to know that this saint has with him a very expensive diamond. Very expensive diamond. He goes to the saint when nobody else is there. He says, Sanji, saint, please give me the diamond that you have. I need the money. I need such an expensive diamond so that I can sell it and make my life and my family's life more comfortable. And the saint takes out a diamond from behind him and hands it over to the man. He says, okay, take it. This man is astonished. He's so surprised. He says, you just gave it to me. He says, yeah, it's yours now. Take it. He goes. 1 week later, he comes back. He says, "This diamond is very valuable. It can change my life. I will get all the money I want if I sell it. I've checked, I found out, but I don't want the diamond. You take it back." So the saint is not surprised, but the saint says, "Why do you want to give it back?" So the man says, now the key thing. He says, "I don't want the diamond. I want that which made you give me the diamond. What is it in you that made you give me this diamond without flinching, without winking, without hesitating?" And this man says, the saint says, he doesn't need to say anything, just smiles. You see, I heard this story in a spiritual get together, and the Swamiji was telling this story. Says, if you have 20 rupees, only then you will give 10 rupees to someone. The saint has something within which is much more than the diamond. He has that happiness and peace and joy within. And the man understands that after a week of having the diamond with him. So the peace within, not that we are impractical. This is not that all of us have to go and meditate. We have to balance our lives. We have to strive for success. We have to strive and be ambitious to do the best, more and better. But we have to carry that portable paradise, which Yogananji says, carry a portable paradise within you, wherever you go. That is the true meaning of success. And the true meaning of success means that you are not arrogant or unfriendly with others, shouting at others. You have true respect from others. They love you. They work with you because they respect you. And you are someone who showers that affection, that love, that positive thinking to them. Best combination. No one can be more successful than you. And Amitabh Bachchan also said in that show, he said that Harivansh Rai Bachchan, his father, said, you have to accept the lows and the highs. He says, man ka ho to acha, or man ka na ho to aur bhi acha. What does it mean? It means that we come to a situation where we are happy, come what may. If we get what we want, great. We haven't got what we want, we're still happy because we understand that God has something better in mind for us. Atul, over to you.
Thank you, Vivek. Always so amazing thoughts, I would say. Is my voice coming clear or am I
Yeah,
echoing?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So I'll be preaching to the popes if I, or to you at least, Vivek, if I go beyond your sermon because you've been so wonderful. But I'd love to hear from you before we get into Q&A more about your meditation journey, your ability to remain so calm. The autobiography of the Yogi Vivek, and how much meditation do you do? And more importantly, I think if you could, do a 1 minute meditation for all of us, help us do that. We'll be so obliged.
Right, so let's do that. I'll give you a glimpse of meditation and then I'll tell you more. So please sit straight and we'll do a 1 minute meditation. Sit with your spine straight and your point between the eyebrows is where you can focus your eyes, although eyes are closed, but you can focus your attention there. And notice your breath. Breath is coming in and out, but you're not noticing normally. Now notice your breath and focus on the point between the eyebrows. These two things you have to let the breath come in, let the breath go out. Just sit like that straight, noticing your breath for 1 minute, starting now.
That was absolutely amazing, Vivek.
That could have been more than 1 minute. I was lost, but
I
wonderful.
thought you were into a trance, so that's why I got back. But this was absolutely stunning.
Yeah,
Just 1 minute at least made me feel so calm. And I think many times we guys just forget to do these 5 minutes, and it's not that difficult. So, meditation, guys, is one of the keys to happiness. So let's just do that every day. So, a few
absolutely.
questions. Inder Rajkor ma'am is asking the usual question: why did you take early retirement, Vivek? I think you have to start that, and you have to sort of build that into your speech, Vivek, because this question invariably comes. So, tell us about
Yeah,
your
yeah, yeah.
what made you retire.
Yeah, yeah, I must mention it, and thank you for asking this question, Inder ma'am. Actually, I became a motivational speaker in service, and I was very creative also. So I thought my creativity is more than what the government normally allows, and I should go and speak more. I spoke once a month or once in 2 months while in the IAS. I had TEDx talks at that time also, but I was not able to travel or not able to go and speak as much. So now I realized also that young people are under a lot of misapprehensions and pressure. So I realized that someone like me speaking to them will be able to give them the right picture of life, tell them what life is about, creativity, emotional intelligence, happiness, calmness. So here I am doing the same, and Shulini University has given me a platform to go and teach, and I'm a visiting professor. So I love that. I love whatever I do now. Very happy after that.
No, you
All of
spoke
you.
about Vivek. I have to tell everyone over here that between Vivek and I, we've done around 100 webinars now. We've touched more than 100,000 teachers. Touched more than 120 schools, I think, now. It's just been one phenomenal last 3 months. And, just doing this type of activity has kept us happy. And apart from, of course, reaching out to all of you, hopefully inspiring all of you. So I think one thought which I'd like to leave everyone with is the sense of purpose, Vivek. Build a sense of purpose in your life. It could be whatever it is. It could be something that you're passionate about, and bring that purpose in your life, and you'll see success come in both from a internal perspective and also from the conventional sense. People who make purpose their way of life and their vocation actually end up having extreme success in that. In fact, I was reading a quote, Vivek, which said that when you do hard work without a cause, it's a lot of hard work. And when you do hard work with something that you really love to do, it becomes passion. So let's bring passion into our lives, and I think happiness will flow. We will not see it as work anymore, and there'll be less stress. We'll be happy, and we will also become more successful in the conventional financial sense. So, a couple of questions over here. One by Sunny Dugal, who's asking, which I think is so relevant. How does one grow seeds of positive thinking? He's also saying, how do we keep our mind calm, especially when there is so much anxiety that we have within? Vivek.
Very good questions, Atul. They are, and he's right. So it's difficult to stay calm and sow seeds of positivity. But we see people around us. Look at someone who's always smiling. Someone in your circle, some neighbor, some friend, some relative. Hamisha Kush. So why can't we be like him? You have to ask yourself. Why is this person always positive, always gung-ho? One person you will know like that. Many people are critical and negative, but one or two are like that. So I would say that if you are able to emulate the most cheerful human being, there is one way to do it. Secondly, meditation will help you to become happier and more cheerful, calmer in your mind. Meditate morning and evening. Try and calm your mind down so much that negative thoughts don't arise. Negativity usually comes from restless, disturbed minds. A calm mind is like a pond which reflects the moon's image without any disturbance. And if you throw a pebble into the pond, then the moon's image is also distorted. So your mind, when it is calm, sees the picture of life very clearly. And you are more happy, more calm, more content, bigger picture visible. You don't get disturbed and your calmness remains.
Lovely. Sunny is asking beyond this question. He's saying that karma is spirituality, and that's what he believes. However, simultaneously, people practice yoga, why is it important to do yoga when all we have to do is do karma and do adharma?
So, yoga is, if you look at the higher sense, whatever I have learned, yoga is basically union with God. And the purpose of life is not only to be good, but it is to find God. And if you are good at your work, you have done half the battle. Yes, very good, well done. You have been good to people, that's also good. Karma is good. But karma, good karma in itself, it is said, it takes a million years of many lifetimes to find God, salvation. So meditation helps you to accelerate that process. You sit and meditate, and you have the aeroplane route, as they call it. Kriya Yoga is the aeroplane route which we follow. So meditate and catch the aeroplane to eternal peace. That's why yoga meditation.
So, what about reading books, Vivek? That was something I was just thinking. Can reading books also help sort of getting success as a feeling of success, getting happiness? Is that something that you suggest?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think we didn't mention it enough today. People who read books are more aware of the situations. They're more calm. They're more creative. Creativity is something which comes from knowing more and feeling more enthusiastic about things, emulating people who have written books, things like that. Also, scriptures, religious books, spiritual books, autobiographies of Dalai Lama, Paramahansa Yogananda, anyone else. So they give you that inspiration to meditate, to do the right things. Reading books will make you a better person.
And any books you would suggest, apart from, of course, your wonderful book? You want to talk a bit about your
Yeah,
book, Vivek, Finding Success Within and the 52 Traits?
yeah, I'll talk about them. So this is the book again, and those of you who want to read it, you can order it on Amazon. Finding Success Within. So a few things I talk about in this from the career perspective. I talk about communication skills. Those of you who are, let's say, above average communicators but not great communicators, you can always learn by practice. We have Atul and I speak on public speaking skills at times. We talk about how practice makes you perfect. Go on practicing your speech, go on practicing your oratory skills, go on speaking in front of audiences, in front of the camera, and become better and better as a communicator. Even writing, practice your writing. Often, Atul, even in India, in corporate India, I've seen people confusing words like advise and advice. Please advise, they say, which is CE, which should be please advise. And these are mistakes which we should eliminate from our official communication. There are so many others, which are, this is just an example. So, as a communicator, keep on improving your writing and oral skills, your personality skills. That is one way to be successful. As a networker, also, I've written that your networking skills have to be very good today. Your connections have to be maintained. You have to be on LinkedIn. You have to be posting. These are practical tips for today. And you have to be not only good, but people should be aware that you are good.
So
And
I have to intervene over here. I keep on telling my story all the time when I speak about my days at McKinsey. So I just saw that Ron Lemons, who used to be my mentor at McKinsey, sort of is live watching me. So Ron, hi, first of all, and I keep on telling my story about how I learned to do amazing things at McKinsey. So it's Ron who made me do all the dirty stuff, and whatever little I am today is because of Ron. So that's the guy who made it happen. He was very tough on me, Vivek, but I think rightly so. So I just thought I should intervene and say thanks to Ron.
good. Hello, Ron, and you got a very good protege here. Atul and I have been having fun on these webinars, and he's a great communicator. So you did very well with it. And teachers who are watching are very happy with the webinar. I can see them typing out thank yous and all. So I was talking about my book. Seeing the bigger picture and remaining in the moment is also important. So while you keep the moment, the bigger picture in mind, the present moment is where you focus your energies. Mindfulness. So there was a graphic which I talked about recently. Mindful, Full, versus mindful, which is Mindful, which means that you are focused on the moment instead of your mind being full of this and that and the other. Try and declutter your mind, declutter your house, your life, your activities, prioritize, These are all success factors. And looking at keeping on, that means improving yourself, upgrading yourself. And again, that quote from Alvin Toffler, which means that the people of the world have to unlearn, learn, and relearn. And it's very, very important. So it's very, very important to keep upgrading your skills and not resting on your laurels, so to say, as I'm great, I'm this, I'm that. Keep on reading, keep on aspiring for more and better. All these skills are in the book.
So Vivek, lots of teachers here today on the webinar, and lots of lovely teachers from Rajpura, very specially. So, this question comes up all the time. All these teachers have become Corona warriors. They're doing such an amazing job, especially, they're taking care of their homes, they're taking care of the children, they're taking care of their parents, and they're simultaneously out on there teaching every day. And this is bloody, I think, very tough. It's very stressful. So, any thoughts on what should they do? How should they manage the stress? These are tough times. And are you seeing a relief as far as Corona goes? When you see schools opening, when do you see normalcy coming in? What are your thoughts on all these issues?
Yeah, thank you for touching on the very important topic because that's what they are feeling at the moment. And I'm sure teachers are bogged down by this thought. It's very, very important that they come out of it. So, teachers don't feel scared. First of all, life is going on, everything is going to be okay, nothing to worry. Secondly, as Atul said, you're Corona warriors, you're burdened, but try and prioritize your life. Give yourself half an hour a day on only yourself, your yoga, your meditation, your reading, your guitar, your creativity. Try and focus on that so that you can take out time for yourself. And this is apart from your walk and physical fitness, very important. Thirdly, the pandemic is for everyone. I don't know all the answers, Atul doesn't know all the answers, nobody knows all the answers. But some people are assured that whatever happens, I'm ready, I'm okay. October will also come, January will also come, April will also come. We'll all be in it together. So there's no need for me to worry more than my friends. I am cool and calm. Yeah, whatever happens, I'm swimming along. Everybody's swimming along. So let's not fret and over worry ourselves. When schools open, supposing they open in the middle of August, suppose we'll all go back, we'll follow observations, we'll follow guidelines, and we'll go and teach, and people will learn. Gradually, by October, November, December, January, things might become easier and better.
Thank you, Vivek. We're sort of coming to an end, and lots and lots of thank yous over here. Ramneek, Sumita, Dr. Ravinder Singh Rathore, many of them, Sandeep, Sumita. I wouldn't be able to read all of them, but lots and lots of people are saying thank you. So I'd also like to say thank you to you. Before we close, thoughts from your end, just final thoughts on finding success.
Yes, so finding success comes from calmness and cheerfulness. So be calm, be cheerful, focus on the inner battle, not only on the outer battle. Focus on your inner peace, your journey within. Lose your temper less, be happier, be more successful in that sense. That's more important. Stay connected. Atul and I have, I think somebody's posted our kind of Instagram, etc. You can be in touch on LinkedIn, Facebook, anything. And read the books that we have recommended. Autobiography of a Yogi. There is also great books by Yuval Noah Harari. You can read him, Harari, Harari, and read a book by Vivek Atray, which says Finding Success for You. Thank you.
Of course. I'd like to add, teachers, that there is no bigger success for teachers or for anyone else to become mentors and make people around you successful. That is the biggest joy that we can have. So we are blessed by God that we were born as teachers. We are teachers and helping people succeed, others succeed. So let's go out there and make other people succeed, our students succeed. We should bring innovation, inspiration, motivation, creativity, fearlessness, and all that we have in terms of learning, values into our teaching. And I think if we do that, our students will succeed. And when they succeed, we will find success within. So we are lucky to be teachers, and that's my parting thought. Vivek, like I always ask, one last sentence you'd like to add to the teachers here.
Thank you, Atul. I would say to the teachers, stay happy, cheerful, content, calm, compassionate, and success will come to you.
Thank you once again, all of you, especially teachers from the Scholar Public School, Rajpura. It's been amazing talking to all of you, and thank you for all your comments and questions. Vivek, you, as always, are so inspirational and great, so motivating. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, Atul. Same here,
Have,
same thought. Thank you. Thank you.